Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Darvanalee Designs Studio, and today we're here for a little bit of a stitch with me. We're going to work on Snow Village. We're working on the Ice Coffee Cafe, so let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back. Look at me go, 3 weeks in a row. That's shocking, right? Alright, I might have to do a little bit of adjusting, so just bear with me for a moment. But yeah, so we are here to do a little bit of stitch with me, give you a little bit of update, what's happening, what might be coming up, and all those sort of things, and just a general whip and chat. Alright, so for those that are new here, this is a stitch with me. This is where I get about 30 minutes of stitching in, and then basically sometimes a little bit longer, just depends on the topic of the day. But I'm working on Snow Village. I'm doing it as one piece, so that's why you can see little bits and pieces all around it. Although by the time editing happens, you probably won't see too much except for this little snow girl here. Yeah, basically we stitch on this each week and I'm endeavouring to get it finished. This has been quite a long project because I have lost my stitching mojo. What words am I speaking today? Mojo several times, and so everything sort of takes a back seat when that happens. So yeah. This is what I'm going to be working on until I'm finished. So I have this one, then another house, and then another shop, I think it is, or a little cart or something towards the end. So, and then I will be finished and done and dusted. I'm turning these into cushions because cushions are easier for me to store during Christmas, because my Christmas period for decorations is approximately 12 days. So it goes, my decorations come out on the 19th of December and then they go away before the new year rolls in, because you don't take the old into the new, is a family superstition, and that's the way we've done it. And I think it actually stems back to some of my English heritage, where the Christmas tree goes up on the 19th. I have seen it mentioned in shows, and the one show that does come to mind is the Call the Midwife. Is that what the show's called? It's been that long since I've watched it, I've forgotten what the name of the show is. But yeah, so it was mentioned in that show. That is one that comes to mind, and I've seen it in several other British shows as well. I just can't remember the name of the shows off the top of my head. So that is how my household runs, and basically, yeah, I have the Christmas tree up and the decorations up from the 19th to the 31st, and everything is down and put away before the new year rolls in. So that is sort of how I play it. It's probably got some sort of pagan significance as well, and all that sort of stuff, but off the top of my head, I cannot think right now, because it is very early in the morning and it's freezing here this morning. It's only 10 degrees and I'm so cold. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't even think I can feel my fingers. So yeah, there is that this morning. I have had the heater on for a bit, but I don't want to get in the habit of leaving the heater on all day until it is really cold, especially with the price of electricity and everything at the moment. And as I have talked about in other videos, I am saving to go to the UK in about 18 months time with my daughter. She wants me to go along with her, so wherever I can save pennies, I will save pennies. And yeah, so I put the heater on for about 2 hours. That's just taken the chill off the air out here, and I've got my feet nice and toasty warm with socks and shoes, and I've got my thick woolen jacket on, so that'll keep me warm. However, I cannot stitch in gloves. So the fingers are a little bit cold at the moment, but once I get moving around and start cutting and stuff like that, my body will start to warm up anyway. So it's not a big deal, really. All right. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that has been watching my Stitch With Me's and other videos that I've been putting up. I really do appreciate it. I am still struggling a bit with motivation and stuff, but I am with the help of friends and booktube and all that sort of stuff, I am basically utilizing the time that I'm doing sprints and everything to make sure that I do at least one thing off my list, and my list has been really working very well because I've been getting lots of things crossed off. I pretty much started the month with 2 pages, and I'm now down to probably 3/4 of a page because I've rewritten it. So I started out at the end of April where my whole page was absolutely covered, chock-a-block with videos that I had to film and all that sort of stuff. And then the next week I crossed things off during that week. And then basically the next week on the Monday, actually I think it was on the Sunday night, I rewrote the list and left everything that I crossed off the list. Left them all off, so that was really good, and I felt quite accomplished after I did that. And then I rewrote my list yesterday, and I'm down to 3/4 of a page, and I've already crossed. Let's just over to the side here. I've already crossed a couple of things off. I've just got a few things that I've got to edit and whatnot and get them up, so they'll go up shortly with any luck. And yeah, so I am feeling quite accomplished with the things that are getting done. Of course, you know, I'm working extra hard to try and catch up with Patreon and all that sort of stuff, and I do apologize for, you know, being a bit off under, well, I don't even know how to describe it. I was just not really motivated and feeling a bit bleh, and that was affecting what I was doing and stuff like that. But I am slowly but surely getting back to it. I have a heap of projects that I've got here, and yeah, I'm hoping to get them a bit sorted and get the filming done and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes you got to do it in a couple of you know, a couple of takes and whatnot. So, but that's fine. The magic of editing makes it look like it was one, you know, done on one day. But in actual fact, it might have taken a couple of days as well. So yeah, and yeah, but I'm feeling a lot more. Like, today is a good day. I'm feeling motivated to get stuff done. I am a day late with getting this, getting one video edited. I had to refilm some stuff, which is unfortunate because I thought I had it and I didn't, so I had to refilm. By the time I finished doing that, I was just like, I need to just have fresh eyes on this video. And yeah, so that will probably go up a day late or whatever into Patreon, but maybe go up on the same day, but just later in the day, as you know, as I get it done and whatnot. It'll go, as soon as it's done, it'll go up to Patreon, which is good. So yeah. Now, I haven't done a quilt tube in a little bit. I do have one coming, so be prepared for that. That is coming out. I know that looks crooked right now. It's just the way I've got it in the frame. I can't get it to straighten up for some reason, but yeah, anyway, it is what it is. I probably should get the chart out so I know what I'm stitching right. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. All right, so let me have a look at what I'm doing here. All right, I am up the top here, so I need to go in and go up. So let me just bring that where I can see it a bit clearer instead of over yonder, because over yonder is not going to help me get the correct placing, is it? What do we got? Alright, sorry if I counted then, I do apologise. Let me just... It's going to be a little bit tricky because these are a little bit weird shaped. But yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit better, a little bit more motivated. The lists are definitely helping. to keep me on track and all that sort of stuff. And the problem is, I work here alone during the day. Neralee's off at work, Brennan's off at work, Savannah doesn't live here anymore, so I'm here alone. And sometimes I just don't feel motivated. I just want to sit down and read, or I want to sit down and do something else. And so it doesn't really help when you're trying to be motivated and stuff. So the lists are helping though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Put my pen up there so I know where that is. All right. So yeah, like I can see, like when I've written it out each week, and that it's getting less and less. I mean, I know that I'm going to get to the end of the month and it's going to be huge again, but a lot of little things that I needed to get done have been done now, so that needed to be done, which is really good. So so I'm pretty happy about that they are now done, because they're not hanging over my head as well. So yeah, it's quite surprising when you've got stuff hanging over your head how debilitating that can be for motivation and stuff. Just count these again. I normally try to map these out, but I haven't even done that this time. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I feel a lot better with what I've got done in the last couple of weeks. So we're only halfway through the month, and as I said, I'm down to 3/4. The page was so full. It was almost a little overwhelming. But I just pushed through, and I just like, you know what? And they're not in any particular order either. It's just I've thought about it, and I'm like, this is what I've got to get done, and I just started writing. And then, you know, the more I thought about it, the more things were coming to me. And then I sort of have a daily list, so that's my master list. And then I have a daily list of things that I take off that list to do in my day-to-day life. You know, things like washing and all that sort of stuff get added on for that day-to-day stuff. And then basically I take a couple of big things off the list that need to be done and incorporate them in, and I do them first because I feel like they're the biggest thing and the most daunting thing. So it's easier for me to do those things first as opposed to trying to slot them in after I've done, you know, a heap of housework and all that sort of stuff, which is demotivating. After you've done that, you just want to sit and relish your clean house and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know, am I the only one that does that? I feel like I'm a little bit weird. I clean the house and then I just want to sit down. And it's not because I'm tired or anything. I just want to relish in my clean house. Like before, you know, people come home and walk dirty footprints through the house because they have no respect for a clean floor. And, you know, or they, you know, muck up the kitchen because they've gone out and cooked and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I clean and then I want to sit down. So I figured, you know what, I should probably do some of these bigger things in the the house, like in the work sphere before I do housework, because otherwise it's never going to get done. So there's that. So yeah, all right, now let me just count these because this is a big block of white that we're going to be doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 across. 10 up. All right, that's going to be 130 stitches right there. All right, so we need to go up to this one, and then we need to miss 2 and start there. All right, I think I'll go across first. And then we'll just come backwards and forwards. I think is probably the best way to do it. Actually, I'll probably do the other little triangle on the other side first. That probably would make sense because then that's done. And then I can just focus on the center of the block of colour I gotta do? 3, 6, 7. All right, sorry, I had to count there. 13, right. 13 across, yes, that's right. And then so what have I been up to this week? I have just been like organizing some of my work area and whatnot, making sure that I have, like, going through my whips, making sure that I have all the fabric that I need, because I have a whip at the moment in craft tube. I have put the fabric somewhere. I know that I would have kept that fabric, and I'm positive that I kept that fabric. And I have put 6 of the blocks together, 4 or 6 of the blocks together. And I have put that somewhere as well, and I showed it in my whip parade. Do you think I can find it? So I've been going through my whips to see where I may have put it. The answer is I have no clue whatsoever. So yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have no clue whatsoever where I have put this. It's driving me absolutely mental. I know it's got to be here. I'm just hoping that I didn't throw it out. Like, I'll be absolutely bleeding if I threw it out, because it's 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 1 more makes 8. I might just have to end this. It's going to pull out otherwise. All right, let me get some more thread, some white. Oh, I'm getting low. Getting low. I have to get another. I think I've got more in there. I'm sure I've got more in there. I think I'll just pull this one off, because, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I have put it somewhere and I cannot find it, and it's driving me absolutely balmy, because I know it's here somewhere, because I had it, I filmed it at the beginning of this series of QuiltTube. I cannot find it. It's just frustrating. I'm sure I've just put it in a bag or something. So I've got a few more bags that I have just over underneath the long arm machine that I haven't looked through this week. So I'm hoping to get them looked at this week. What did I just do then? Oh, there we go. Didn't go through evenly for some reason. I'll rethread that. Yeah, so I've just got to go through those and find them, and then I'll be right. Then I can fix that and get it sorted. And but I think, like, I'm 100% sure that I kept the fabric. I've got a cupboard to look into, which I'm probably going to do later today, and hopefully I found it, because I'm 100% positive that I put that fabric away, because red and black is such a hard color to match. So I have a feeling that that is in that cupboard. And if that's the case, then I'll be right to just continue on with that and get that done. So, but right now I seem to be just chasing my tail. What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. And it's frustrating, because, like, it's just my own stupidity not putting it in a container and just having bags and stuff, and yeah. But I will work it out. And if I can't find that fabric, if I may have used it for something else, I will probably just take that little bit of quilting with me on a bit of an excursion and go and find some fabric to match it. And it might be a case that I just need to pull the black square. I think I use black squares for the cornerstone, so it might be a case that I need to pull them out, which is not going to take me long because I've only put one row between them. So if that's the case, I'll be fine. I'll be able to just sort that out and basically start again, if that makes sense. So yeah, the things we do, right? The silly things we do in our craft room. So what else has been happening? It's been a pretty quiet week. We had Mother's Day on the weekend, but I celebrated Mother's Day a week early because Savannah was up here. She thought that Mother's Day was the first weekend of May and made plans for the second weekend with friends. So I couldn't begrudge her for that, and I'm like, it's fine. She goes, oh, I'll take you out for lunch because I'm here, and we'll go out for lunch. So we went out for a shopping day over at Toowoomba, and we spent the day together. Nerily was working, so she couldn't come, but she was fine with that. And so we went out, we had sushi for lunch, and then before that we did a bit of shopping, and I got myself a couple of little coats for winter that were very cute, and I'm like, I need to have them in my life. So they are now in my life, in my cupboard, just so I can rotate, because I've got the one I've got on right now is the one that I got last year, and it's light grey, and I don't like to wear it all the time because it starts to look a little bit grubby, but it's super thick and it's great for in the morning. So I got a couple of other ones that would be good if it wasn't a super cold day in the morning, or I'm just out here working or sitting on the couch or whatever, rather than run the heater. And because I mean, you can always chuck a blanket over yourself and whatnot. And when I'm the only one here, I mean, is it really necessary to have the heater running just to keep the craft area warm? Like if it gets cold enough, I can turn that on and take the chill off the air, and that's all I really need as the day progresses. It's just first thing in the morning, it's a bit of a culture shock. Especially because this is the first, I think this is it's the second night we've gone below 10. And those first couple of nights are always a bit of a culture shock. And I've got an oil heater that I have in my bedroom that is on a timer. So it comes on at 4 o'clock. I haven't plugged it in yet because it hasn't been cold enough to do that. But in the dead of winter, I have that. It comes on at 4 o'clock and it stays on until I think about 10. And then it switches off because I'm under the blankets. I don't need to have a heater on while I'm sleeping. So that's sort of what I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Just trying to figure out which is the best way to go. Thinking I might go up and down because then I'm going to end over this side, which will be good because I don't want to end over here and then have to finish the thread and go back across. So that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Makes sense, right? So yeah, so it's been a bit of a culture shock for the cold and whatnot, but it was a nice day. We spent the day together. We did a bit of shopping. We didn't really buy much. Like we just sort of, I got some green tea from the Asian grocery. I got my Mother's Day presents because Brendan gave me some money to go over and do some shopping. So I got myself 2 jackets. I got a black one and a brown one. So now I've got this light grey one. Then I've got a black one, which is similar to this. And then I've got a light brown one, which you'll probably see in videos and stuff like that. Because it's warm and it's a full length jacket as well, so it goes down to just above my ankles, which is great. Makes for a toasty warm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, so I know that that's where I'm going. I don't know why I did that. I already know where I'm going. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go up and down now, because that will mean that I'll end up over here where I want to be, and then I can finish it off. So yeah, because then if I've got enough thread left after I've done this, then what will happen is I will jump up from here and do the roof of the house, because I'm just sort of working the white at the moment. I know that's not very exciting for everybody that's watching, but it's just an easy way for me to get stuff done. And then when we come back, all the white will be done, you know, after the next couple, and then we can start delving into the color, because then we have a lot of red gonna go on on that. So it's probably equal amount of red and white for this particular little chart. And yeah, now I've stopped actually putting time frames on these because I seem to say, oh, I'm going to have this finished by X, Y, or Z, and then I don't do it. So it did just get done when it gets done. But I'm endeavoring, you know, this is my stitch with me. This is what I'm working on. You know, it makes sense that I'm working on this, I'm sure. And it'll just be something that gets done. So yeah. Yeah, so we had a fabulous night, a fabulous day over at the shopping centre, and lunch was delicious. And then we got home, I think about 4 o'clock, and then Narrowly came home from work, I think. Chit-chatted for a little while and watched a bit of TV, and then I basically went to bed. So that was last Sunday, the Sunday before Mother's Day. And then the Mother's Day weekend, and then I just had a really hectic week. I got to the end of the week and I was actually bushed. Like, I couldn't, like, I felt like I'd been dragged through the ringer. Not because I was sick or anything. I had just had a full-on productive week. As I said, I went from a page of, like a list, like, I'll show you the list. This is the book. So it's like you can see, it's quite an extensive list. That was chocolate. There was no white on the page. It was all just black writing with red lines through it and all the rest of it. So I was supposed to meet up with some friends on Friday night, and I'm like, I just can't. I've got to go to bed. I was in bed by 8 o'clock, 8:15, something like that, by the time I had dinner. Because I finished sprints over on the booktube, and then I'm like, I had all intentions, but I don't know, I turned the camera off and it was like I hit a wall. I just can't. I've just got to sleep. You know, when your body gets that tired that it aches, that's where I was at. So I had something to eat, which was an effort. I still made myself something decent to eat, and I have like rice cooked in the fridge. So I had some rice, I chucked some bok choy in it, a couple of other vegetables, and I often have the coleslaw, the dry slaw though, there's no mayonnaise on it. And I just chuck that in with the rice, and then I get my serving of vegetables and my rice, and I call it done. Chuck it in a microwave and call it done. Usually chuck some sort of Asian sauce on it. Sometimes it might be oyster sauce. Sometimes it might be teriyaki or whatever. I've got these little bottles of sauces that I just put a little bit of squirt on, and it gives a little bit of flavour. And yeah, so that is what I had for dinner, and I no sooner finished that and I was in bed. I think I read 1 page, maybe 2, and I was asleep because Narrowly worked that night, and she come home, she goes, well, Mum, you must have been tired because you were snoring something fierce. I'm like, yeah, I was absolutely buggered. And like, she was home early. Like, I think she got home at like 10 o'clock or something from work, and she said I was out for the count. So but I felt better for it on the Saturday. On the Saturday, also that weekend we went to the markets as well, which was quite nice. Had a little bit of look around, and then it started raining. So that was a bit of a boo humbug, but it was good though, because we were able to, like, it didn't rain for very long, but it still made it quite mucky and dirty and stuff like that. So that didn't really help. And then, yeah, so that was that weekend. And then Mother's Day weekend actually rolled around. And of course, I get a mandatory day where there's no one home. I get the house. I know that I get the house to myself, but I don't do any housework. I don't do anything. No one rings me for anything. It's just basic radio silence, because I'm sort of at everybody's beck and call all the other days of the week in the year and all that sort of stuff, you know, because I do a lot of stuff for my husband in the background as well, like just keeping, you know, admin stuff sorted and all that sort of hoo-ha. But anyway, you know, keeping track of bills, what he owes, where this has got to go, who owes us money, all that sort of stuff from his business. So I do a lot of that in the background, which a lot of people don't realize that I do a lot. There's not a lot to do these days because I have a lot of systems in place, and we got rid of a lot of insurance work because they just weren't paying on time, and we were constantly chasing them up. And so we made the executive decision to just get rid of them altogether and just not even bother. And there are other companies out here that can do it, and we don't need to be one of them. So we don't have a lot of that sort of chasing up work these days. But that was more, the work comes in, but then we were chasing the insurance company. Now, you think an insurance company would pay on time? No. We've got one right now, because we do occasionally do them if they get absolutely stuck. We've got one right now. We did the job beginning of March we did the job. Oh no, I think it was the second week of March we did the job, and I'm still chasing them up. I've sent them 3 follow-up emails and all the rest of it, and it's just like, seriously, you're an insurance company, you have the money there, just pay your bills. Like, so anyway, and we're not talking a small amount of money here either. This is quite a substantial amount of money, because we had to go quite a substantial amount of a distance to go and pick this car up and then bring it back. And yeah, and it's just very frustrating when, you know, these big companies don't even pay, and we're just a little guy. We can't afford, like, to have X amount of dollars out on credit. And, you know, like, it's not as if they didn't know it was a 7-day account and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, which reminds me, I've got to send another email off, and that'll be the 4th time that I have, yeah. But anyway, I was supposed to, it's all right. I can work it out. I've just started doing something different then. Off with the pixies. So yeah, so then this weekend rolled around, which was Mother's Day weekend. On Saturday I went out and did like groceries and stuff like that for the fortnight, and basically just ran into some old friends and had a bit of a chit chat with them in the supermarket. Annoyed all the other supermarket goers because we were standing in the way a lot, but we just caught up and had a bit of a chin wag and all that sort of stuff. Then I come home and I pretty much had done all the housework on Friday. So yeah, because I was on sprints and whatnot. So I had, done all the dishes and basically reset for the weekend, and which meant that Saturday morning I had nothing to do. So I woke up and I did a little bit of reading. I did a little bit of organizing in the bedroom. And I did a little bit of organising out here as well, but I stayed off the computer and tried to stay off social media as much as I could. Hung out with some friends that were on sprints in the comments, chatted with them. So it was just a nice relaxing morning, and then Sunday rolled around, and basically I didn't have to do any housework or anything like that. I had a couple of loads of washing to do, but I didn't do them because it was Mother's Day. And I had just basically, it's probably been the first weekend where I've taken a whole weekend off. I didn't, like, the organisation in the bedroom is stuff that I wanted to do because I was looking to get rid of some, clothing and stuff that I'm no longer wearing and stuff like that. So I thought, have an audio book on and I'll just potter around and do that. So I did a bit of that. Didn't do a lot of it. But I mostly read over the weekend, which was absolutely fabulous. I ended up reading The Salt Grows Heavy, which is a literary horror fiction. And I buddy read that with some friends. But that was Saturday morning. That was done by mid-morning. And then I listened to Murmur of Bees, which was a Kindle Unlimited book, which was translated from the Spanish. It was a literary fiction as well. It was a bit weird. I do talk about it over on my BookTube channel. It's not out yet. It'll be coming out this coming Saturday. Yeah, it was a little bit weird, but again, it was a book that just kept me doing some stuff. Then I sort of, like on the Saturday, I sort of organised some of the like how to look through whips and stuff like that as well, just to make sure that these are the whips that I want to continue with. Because if I don't want to do them, I'm not going to do them. I'm just going to package them up and give them to someone, because there's no point in doing stuff I'm no longer feeling any joy from. But the good news is most of the projects that I have here, I actually do want to get finished. So I'm pretty excited about that. I am in the process at the moment, like I was doing, like technically this is slow stitching, but I was doing a slow stitching Saturday, and I haven't done that for a little while. I do have a project there that I need to finish. I was going to finish it up while I was down in Brisbane, but I forgot to take some of the stuff that I needed, so that's why it didn't get finished. But I am thinking that I pulled it out and it's sitting just over yonder. And I'm thinking that I'm going to endeavour to get that finished ASAP, because it just needs to be done. And then it's another project done. That one I am doing all by hand. So there'll be no sort of sewing machine except for the first part of the binding will be put on. So I am almost up to the quilting side of things. So yeah, I've got all the bits and pieces down. I've stitched everything down from memory. And I mean, I only looked at it the other day and I still can't remember what I've done on it. So I think I'm just up to now adding the fusible fleece on and doing some big stitching on it, so that should get done pretty quickly. And I've sort of started thinking too about some of the little designs that I want to put on that quilt that I did a couple of weeks ago. If you've seen the quilt tube and whatnot, you would have seen that already. So yeah. All right, I am getting to the end of this. So I had a really relaxing weekend, and yeah, and which meant that I pretty much started off the week on track and feeling good about the week, feeling motivated about the week, and all that sort of stuff. I did film a couple of things as well for QuiltTube and everything yesterday, and so I've just got to do the final intro and outro for it, and then that's done. So that will be going up in Patreon a few days earlier than normally. I like to have it up there for a week, the same as the Stitch With Me's, but that didn't work out this week because I had a lot of big things that I had to do admin wise last week, so that sort of held up some of my videos and whatnot. But there we go. I am not going to thread the needle up again because I do have to get on with the rest of my day and time is starting to tick away. But we've got a little bit more done. I'm pretty happy with that. We've spent 38 minutes together, which is absolutely fabulous. Yeah, so the next lot of stuff will be finishing off the white, and then we'll probably do the peak of the house. And I think there's a little bit of white over here in the door as well. Of course, we've got snow and all that sort of stuff to do. But I think next time we come back, we'll probably just finish off this area here if I don't get it done during the week. And then we might start with some red and just break up the colour a little bit. But on that note, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up down below. Share this with your friends so they know that I'm here. And as always, I keep crafting and I will see you in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.